Coast special. I'm joined by some amazing folks, and super thankful for them to join us. I would like to pass the microphone to my left, I think, top screen, to Glenn, and I'm going to let him introduce himself. So go ahead, Glenn.
Right on, DJ. Yeah, my name's Glenn Holland. I'm the owner of the Human Connection. That's THCX, and we make a product called Ganja Grid, which vibrates plants to sound files that are inputted by the grower for improved plant health. Thank you.
Okay, and now to the bottom, the Kind of Brilliant guys.
Hey, hi everyone. My name is Robbie. I am one of the hosts. This is my buddy Kyle. He is my co-host. We run the Canon Brilliant podcast. We just kind of started the show a couple months ago and have been constantly marketing ourselves and our episodes, and we've been growing ever since. We are now in 6 different countries and almost on every platform where you can get podcasts. So we just kind of want to keep making content and expanding from there.
That's awesome, guys. I really have enjoyed both of you guys' podcasts a lot. Down to Tony, my fellow Canadian, all the way coast to coast representing.
Yes, I'm from the other side of the country here. Great to be on the show. My name is Tony Grant. I'm a medical grower under Canada's ACMPR. That's the Access to Cannabis for Medical Purposes regulations. I'm very interested in learning more. I've been growing for quite a few years for medical needs for myself, and looking forward to anything I can learn from you folks.
Awesome. Okay, so tonight, I guess it's my turn to introduce myself to the world. My name is DJ Blazenhart. I'm your host. I'm doing this volunteer thing. Basically, what started it is with the pandemic and everything, and I've also moved a couple times. So I was definitely lonely, and then the pandemic hit, and I don't live in my hometown anymore, so I had nobody to smoke a doobie with. So I was like, man, I'm gonna start this internet show and see where I can go and who I can smoke a doobie with. So I really appreciate you guys coming and hanging out and blazing. It's not too much of a pressure show. I mean, it's volunteer, and I wanted to I also have been clean for 8 years from crystal meth.
Nice.
So, congrats, man.
So it definitely takes a lot to say that out loud to the universe, but with everything going on in the world, I really wanted to reach out and help somebody, maybe motivate them to get clean or whatever. Like, it's possible to do it, and even 8 years later, it's still difficult to obviously come on a public forum and say that out loud. And thanks for your support, guys. And tonight's special sort of topic that I wanted to start with was actually mental health. I've personally dealt with a lot of depression and battles throughout my life, and I think it's super important. And the Vancouver Canucks actually started an initiative about 12 years ago. One of the players, Rick Rippon, he passed away, killed himself in one of the off seasons, and it was terribly shocking to me. I was a huge Canucks fan. I bleed blue, and Rick Rippon was one of those guys that would go out on the ice and put his all out on the line for the teammates. And so Kevin Bieksa and I believe Alex Burrows and a couple other Canucks started a Hockey Talks, the hashtag Hockey Talks, and about taking away the stigma of talking about mental health and that sort of thing. And the NHL jumped on board with it, and it's now a thing with all the hockey. And this week was actually the anniversary of it, so I definitely wanted to bring that up. So I'm going to do the same sort of thing we did the first round. I'm going to pass the mic to Glenn and tell me what you think about mental health.
Okay, yeah. Just from my standpoint, I will tell you that mental health for me up until the age of 48 was thinking about myself mostly, but then lung cancer tried to take my ass, and it changed my whole life. And now I am more self-aware than I ever have been in the past. And so mental health has totally changed for me in the last 2.5 years. And I think about other people more than I ever have before. DJ just totally changed my life. So that's what I think right now about mental health is that, even though you got to think about yourself, you still have to think about others as well. And the more that you think about them, the better that they may help you. That's the way I'm going to look at it.
And what is when you find yourself down, or what is your go-tos for trying to, like, for myself doing this sort of thing is a coping mechanism for my mental health. So is there any recommendations you would do when you're down and out? And
Yeah, DJ, I got to tell you, man, you're asking the guy the wrong question because, like I said, I came back from cancer, so every day that I wake up, I'm happy. There is no down for me. You ask anybody, I'm happy every day, all the time. So it's from being down point. I can't comment, man. You know what I mean? It's like I can't. All I can do is try and help other people like you by being here with you. This is how I'm doing it, right? There you
that's
go.
awesome.
I'm
That is
coping.
awesome.
I'm coping by being here with you and the 24,000 followers that I have on LinkedIn that I've opened myself up to for the last 2 years during my lung cancer fight. Right? That's how I did it.
That's awesome.
Fuck.
I commend you. Fuck yeah. All right, guys, kind of brilliant, guys. I guess your turn.
Oh man, well, I definitely, I gotta say, I'd certainly commend you as well. That is phenomenal, both of you, honestly, because personally, like I have had definitely my own bouts with, mental illness and like depression and also addiction. Personally, growing up, it was a lot harder because like I'm from a family where they don't, they weren't really aware as most of the human population of like mental illness and how it actually works. So eventually I reached a point where I had to go to like therapy and I actually got like real information and education on it. And it was life changing, honestly. It was like just living in pure darkness to actually like having like a lifeline, to reality. And then like with that self expansion, I kind of realized that like just personally, like the world, but specifically like our country, like kind of looks at mental illness and addiction like all the wrong way. And like I'm glad that we're seeing like some like drug decriminalization here soon because that can be treated properly and we can actually get people the help they need. And like working in the medical industry, I've just like been introduced to like chemical pharmacology and the way like the human body interacts with like other chemicals, because you are chemicals interacting with chemicals. You're a cluster of drugs that is dependent on a slew of other drugs, and we need to know how to interact with them, appropriately and moderately so we can live a better quality life. So I think having that expansion as far as like the human collective and like having more information available to us is a big thing, and we're seeing just innovation all around. So I'm all about it. I'm all with the support.
Yeah, I couldn't.
That's awesome. And what do you do for coping mechanisms? Like I took counseling for years, so like I know how to kind of self-regulate when I know I'm down. What do you do personally?
Well, therapy was, so like I went to behavioral therapy for a while, and like a big part was kind of incorporating the habit of curving my all or nothing thinking, and understanding that every situation that you interact with, there's a spectrum of scenarios and like outcomes that can happen, and you don't need to focus on like the worst case scenario that you dreamed up in your head. And I kind of remind myself that. And then I also kind of try and practice like sometimes altruism and just use my energy in a more positive manner to affect someone else instead of like downing on myself. That's realistically like the only thing that I've found to kind of regulate it. Otherwise, you fall in like this self-pity cycle of like self-loathing, and just it's not good, So you got to kind of convert that energy and utilize it in another manner.
That's exactly why I use this as a coping mechanism, because when I find myself in that state of mind, I just let's go create something and put that energy out there.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tony, I guess it's your turn. So go
Well,
ahead.
Yeah, I guess I've been fairly fortunate. I've had a lot of good things in my life, and haven't really had a lot of struggles with mental health. I guess serious struggles. I've had some pretty serious loss Lost my dad in 2013. Lost my grandparents, but the biggest was my brother Troy. It was cancer as well, Glenn. I lost my dad to lung cancer as well. We fought hard, tried to fight with the RSO, but that's probably a story I better save for another day. My brother, it's been 2 years in June that he was taken from us, and so that one's still pretty fresh with me. Pretty hard to believe that my brother's gone. Actually, he's only 2 years older than me, and I guess I was expected that I would be the one to go first, being the one that was always out on a limb, doing all the crazy stuff.
Wild
My brother was
one,
the more reserved one.
Right.
Yeah.
I know, me too. I didn't expect to live to this age. I had it in my head that I was going to die at 27. I don't know why, but I was like, I lived up my life, and then 27 happened. And I was like, oh, I'm still alive. Now what?
Well, if I had to say anything that I used to cope, I guess it would be gratefulness. I don't have to look very far to see all the things that I've got in my life, all the good things I've got in my life, and my 3 beautiful kids are probably the biggest of any of the blessings I've ever got in my life. But when I stop and look at some of the blessings that I have in my life, I'm not very long realizing that any frustrations or any anger or any whatever it is that's bringing me down at the time is not worth my time.
Awesome. I love it. Okay, I'm going to let you guys have a round of topic of whatever you'd like. So bear in mind my phone is dying quickly. Apparently it doesn't like me tonight very much, but I appreciate you guys coming on. So I'm going to let you guys go one more round, say what you need to say, and keep a couple minutes. So go ahead, Glenn.
Yeah, right on. Okay, so I don't know. I left John Deere. I worked for corporate John Deere because I didn't believe what I was doing behind a computer desk. So I created my own thing, and it has a lot to do with cannabis. I started smoking marijuana when I was 15 in 1985. That's when I popped my first bean. So it's been a long road for me, but for the simple fact that I'm able to take my heartbeat and vibrate my plants to it, to my own biometrics, is just a huge piece for me. So I'm going to plug the name of my product, which is www.ganjagrid.com, right? It's because a Ganja Grid plant vibration trainer, DJ. So thanks for having me, and I hope everybody has a wonderful rest of their weekend. Thanks for having me on the show.
For coming on, man. Try and use my car battery too. I'm not going anywhere, so.
Yeah, I can use his car battery. Listen to DJ. He wants us to go, man. Yeah.
Great mind, yeah.
Trying to get his
audio.
fucking car battery to charge his phone.
That's dedication.
Props, man.
Yup. Facts.
That's fucking props, man. Holy shit.
Gotta do what you gotta do.
Yup. Yeah, that's great. Well,
some shit we do around here, probably.
Yeah, I mean, you got to improvise. You always got to be flexible on the fly, right? So, well, I guess if we're doing this roundtable thing, I guess if we're next up, I'll go ahead and say a few things. So yeah, I mean, we honestly started Cannabrillion a few weeks ago. Not a few weeks, a few months ago.
So can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah, we could hear you.
I'm trying to keep the battery going here. This show is so awesome. So,
hey, we appreciate it. Yeah, for sure. So yeah, I mean, honestly, what I want to do above everything is just kind of help educate and fight the stigma. I've been in the cannabis industry working in the medical sector for about 2 years now. And I just have never gotten such an immense satisfaction actually like get people on the right path to, getting the therapy that they need and actually seeing a difference, versus a slew of different therapies and medicines that they've tried that were ineffective for them and like potentially had adverse effects. And, we don't need to digress if we're looking to get relief on something that's been troubling us. So I hate seeing people going down a route of, like failure after failure and then getting more complications along the way. So being able to prevent that and actually kind of get people going in the opposite direction, that has been a great thing. And I just kind of want to just grow and collab with other people in the industry and just make media along with it.
Yeah. I'm the political junkie guy, so I'm gonna say, like, in regards of cannabis, just with the platform I'm on right now, rate your legislator, call your legislator, anything, just tell them you support legalization of cannabis.
Yeah.
I mean, that's all I got to say, really.
Well, I guess if it's my turn, I'll tell a little bit of my story. I guess what brought me to cannabis. I was against it growing up. My parents didn't believe in it at all, and I just wasn't into it. We drank to do our parties. When I was 21, I had a serious injury. I was running towards the end zone with a rugby ball under my arm. A guy hit from the side. All my weight was on my right leg, and my knee extended to the center of my body, where the direction it's not supposed to go. People on both sidelines heard the snapping noises, said that it broke the bone, and it didn't break the bone. It actually ripped the cushion out of my knee. It ripped everything out of the center of my knee.
Are you hotboxing the car?
Well, they're talking.
So I've been suffering ever since then with some pretty serious.
Okay, but are you hotboxing my car?
You can hotbox my car anytime you want.
Same.
Come and
Yeah,
hotbox.
damn right.
Come on over and hotbox my car, man. Fuck.
Yeah.
What the hell was that? Go ahead, Tony.
Yeah. So okay. Yeah. The doctors for pain tried to put me on the cannabinoids, and I was. It is some pretty serious pain. There's no question about it. I was lucky enough that I had some guys that I was going to school with. We were playing volleyball on Tuesday nights, and tried a few hot knives before we went to volleyball. After about 3 or 4 weeks of playing volleyball, I realized that hash worked much better for my inflammation and the pain that the inflammation was causing in my knee, that the hash worked much better than the pills that I was taking from the doctors. And long story short, I threw the pills away, and I've been using marijuana ever since. To this day, though, my surgeon doesn't believe that marijuana does anything for my knee, doesn't believe that it can help in any way, and he says it's foolish, crazy.
Because if I
shouldn't be doing any of it.
phone, then it's like, can you add top me up on my phone?
What?
DJ.
I've only got like 5.
Hey, DJ.
I don't think he can hear us, honestly.
Yeah, man, we can hear him though.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, that's pretty
Good.
cool.
Give us something good, man.
Right, yeah.
Right, yeah.
Can I
But
pass you your
I
phone?
do gotta say, Tony, I have seen that a lot in the dispensary with a lot of our medical patients, a lot of people coming in with severe injuries, you know, or they've had like surgeries that, you know,
Can't hear you
were
guys.
not working out correctly, and the analgesics that they were introduced to were ineffective, so they'd come and then boom, cannabinoids completely changed it. Because it's targeting a completely different system. It's targeting your endocannabinoid system, and it's getting basically an affinity with those CB1 and CB2 receptors, and that is basically targeting nerves throughout your body, inside and out. And being able to target a completely different system to get that relief is a phenomenal thing when your opioid receptors aren't doing their job properly, or they're just not basically up to par to what they need to be for the symptoms that you have. And seeing that cannabis has like a lot less detriment as far as like what we can consumption, like amazing. Really, really glad to hear like your story and like anecdotal evidence like kind of coincide and match up with the established pattern that we've been seeing. So that's really, really awesome.
Well, it was this was like 25 years ago too.
Yeah,
So
before, like all the science came out. It's crazy.
And honestly, like you were saying how like your doctor was like skeptical, and like I've heard so many doctors just completely refute the possibility of cannabis being viable therapy, because the FDA, at least, you know, in our country,
It's
for
still Schedule 1.
the FDA doesn't endorse it at all. They don't claim it to have any medicinal property, and that's actually why they're trying to work on legislation to decriminalize it and deschedule it, so it can actually be researched a little bit better, and we can actually, have this stuff backed up through the government, and that way people can get the help that they need. And I know your guys' government up north is actually a lot more progressive with that, and it's like, I'm just so jealous. I just can't wait till we get to a point where we aren't refusing patients, therapy.
Well, I think our government, in the way it's going here, is just a money grab, and that's all they're out for is to
honestly
get their tax dollars out of it. They don't really care about people getting medicine and people being healed.
That's right.
It's just kind of sad.
Yeah.
And honestly, that's why we see that with the individual state regulation here down in the States, because Pennsylvania has a very strict medical program, and it's just the money it's so expensive for these patients to get this medicine, and it's not taxed, but with the high prices at that point, it doesn't matter if it's taxed because it's still just astronomical pricing. And people honestly with certain forms just at that point just go back to buying on the street while maintaining the medical card just because they can't. It's cheaper, which kind of sucks because they got into the program to do the opposite of that.
And your volume, so you don't double.
Yeah, we should have full rec here in the state, I imagine, soon if our legislator goes through, but we're controlled by Republicans, so it'll be kind of interesting to see if they do anything here, but who knows? We'll see.
Yeah.
Hey, we see somebody, but we can't hear them. So this is going to be even better.
Hello. Hi. Thanks for telling me. You brought me in. They're staring at me.
Yes. Let's see some more. Show us some more.
Go backstage.
Oh, shit.
Technical difficulties.
No.
Feel that, yo.
Don't say that. They're not technical difficulties at all, man.
I'm the wife.
This is a great show. I'm digging this.
I'll come on anytime.
So then take your phone and just put it down there. Leave it plugged in, but put mine in your Doomy Dabber.
Okay.
Don't plug it in, DJ. Hey, DJ, don't plug it in.
I'm using my.
There we go.
So that's why you call her Ma.
Yes, I'm a lucky man. I really am super lucky.
You are.
Oh shit, my stream just crashed. Oh no, we might have just crashed.
No,
you're good. We're here.
No, yeah, you're straight.
You're still here?
Man, come on, please go.
Oh, it connected. There we go.
Oh.
We're still live.
Here, quickly,
I love it.
and I'll plug it in the house. So then that way, it's by the.
Yeah, but I got full bars. I'm going with it. We might be on unlimited data now.
Oh yeah, there we go.
Hey.
That's so awesome. Okay.
The problem is though, it's starting
my
to get
phone's
late. It's
glitching out
almost
because
DuBe
it
time.
wants my camera to be on, so I'm gonna just turn my camera back on. Hold on, we're learning on the fly, right?
We can see you right now, man.
The camera's on, man.
See me?
Yeah.
Nice.
We can
Okay.
see and hear you.
Awesome. Well, I love it. You guys are awesome. I just appreciate it so much. I have no words to describe how great it feels. To
And these
reach out
minds
so
together,
far.
man. Come on, you just out of nowhere. Here's this guy DJ Blazenheart who comes out of nowhere on LinkedIn. I've been on LinkedIn for 3 years and I've got 25,000 followers. And all of a sudden, this guy comes up and says, "Hey, I'm like, hey, here we are." Yeah, love it.
Yeah,
man.
I'm a little bit I used to work at the carnival and ran the machine gun game where you got to shoot out the star. You know how many times people have told
My
me
favorite
something's impossible? And just especially the last year, that was my trigger. Somebody be like, "Oh, that game's impossible," and it was the last night of town that we'd be in town, and it was the night, and I was just like, "That's impossible." And then I'd be like, "Watch this," and I'd turn the star around backwards and then shoot it out. And it was just I don't know. I've heard 1,000 no's, so I don't mind asking because I know a lot of people are gonna say no. It's part of the stick.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
I'm just unafraid to ask, and especially when like at the carnival, I have a whole carnival behind me and machine gun game, and like you're there to play a game, so like it's appropriate to ask. And I see LinkedIn is the same, so I apologize if I'm a little forward and abrasive or whatever, but that's just you gotta knock on doors in order to get somewhere, and you gotta expect no, and you can't be mad if somebody says no. Like they don't want to play the machine guns right now because they're on their way to the rides. They just got here. They're gonna go get tickets and do their thing with their family first. So like I'd just be a Walmart greeting guy, like, hey, hello, how you doing today? That was my like stick in the morning because nobody's gonna play. So you gotta know your customer as well. So yeah, so like LinkedIn is I just am in love with it, and meeting people like you, and now that this show has reached out to across the country and down south, and we had Jason on the show with us. He's from St. Louis, so yeah, it's totally amazing. Like I'm blown away. I started it in July. I just had that idea and I went with it, and I did it with my friends on Facebook for I believe until September. I finally went, or September or October, I went public with it. And basically, I'm cutting it down to just Saturday nights because I have a life. I'm busy, and it's just like trying to find the time at the end of the week to kick back. And this has been my coping mechanism because I was like lonely and depressed, and pandemic was just like, what's going on? Like, so I just wanted to reach out and smoke a joint with somebody, and it's pretty awesome. You guys are great. Like, and just like the stuff that I'm learning too, like the vibrations and everything that you're talking about in your podcast, Glenn, is like I have a buddy that for like the longest time, that's all we would talk about is the vibrations, man. Like, just like I know if he sees this, he's gonna be like, no way. Like, I can't believe that that's what you guys are talking about. Sorry, I dropped my phone. I wanted to actually show you guys. I have a Lucky Buddha beer. I don't know if you've ever had this beer, but it's from China. There's a little Buddha there. So if anybody out there needs a little bit of good luck, rub Buddha's belly right there, sending out some good vibes and positivity to the world.
Right on.
And I'll drink on that one.
Yeah, right on.
I may be in my car, but I'm not going anywhere, just so that everybody knows that.
Oh, you're not driving right now?
Oh shit, I took you guys out by accident.
We were gonna say
something.
I
didn't want to you guys. Oh man,
we were waiting for
Yeah.
Totally, like just like, sorry, man.
Oh,
and
no
I guess
worries.
we're on like unlimited data too, and I pushed the button on this phone, so I don't even know where I am at now. I can hear you though. Well, I've already ran out. We're running into unlimited data world on my phone and on the phone. So
Watch your foot for a second.
Wi-Fi, I think, was the problem with what was happening earlier, guys. So okay, kind of brilliant, guys. Your show is awesome. So let's do pick a topic. Like, I really like the robot dog idea, but I think robot cats would be way better. Just strictly because like a cat can climb a fucking tree, and like are ninja fucking assassin warriors, and like dogs are brute strength. And I agree that I totally agree that a dog is like, would be able to go on Mars. But if we're talking about like actually being on Mars and being ninja and reflex and shit, like, wouldn't cats be better?
Okay, well, what's the question or the topic? I want to be involved. What's this topic?
The topic is.
Fuck.
What did you do?
I hit the button again.
Stop touching stuff.
There we go. We're back again.
Okay. So
sorry, guys.
Now, were you asking? You think do we wonder if there's an answer for that?
Yes, I was asking you guys. I know you can hear me when like whether you're on cam or off cam. So yes, that was the question.
All right. So look, I have 2 dogs and I have 2 cats. All right. Now, if you want like machines based off of like anthropomorphize like animals, then like here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna use something that's loyal to you and obeys commands, not something that develops some weird sentience and like has its own independence and operates on its own means. Cats will be like, oh, you want to send me to a planet? Okay, yeah, I'm AI. Fuck you. I don't need you. If it was a dog, it'll be like, yeah, I'll do whatever you need, bro. Yeah, what? You want me to sand these rocks over here? You want me to drill? You want me to test for nitrates? For sure, bro. Whatever you need. Cats, they're like, nope, none of that. I don't think so.
Fair enough.
I look at it that way. I never thought of it that way.
Just, yeah, I mean,
okay.
My cats don't want to listen at all. I would not rely on them to help me colonize a new planet.
Okay, my wife has something to say.
Don't put me on camera. I'll punch you in the face.
Okay, she's gonna say something.
Don't touch me with the camera. Okay, so if we're going with dogs because they're loyal, we have to keep in mind that some dogs are absolute idiots. Look at Basset Hounds, for instance. No offense to our dog Minnie because she's part Basset Hound, but they are completely untrainable unless it comes to hunting.
True. Now, that could actually be a good trait for that case because we, in that scenario, could potentially use it to hunt something, maybe not an animal, but potentially a resource. And
you've got a point. Minnie's nose is phenomenal.
Right. And I mean, also with AI curving that potential handicap that you're mentioning, I don't know. I guess I feel like the possibilities are endless, but you could probably make that same argument with like the cats. If you're programming them with AI, then they'd probably be a little more cooperative.
What happened to our boy Tony?
Yeah, where'd Tony go?
I know.
Don't touch
I
anything.
just noticed that Tony disappeared. I'm not sure. Oh, there he is. Okay. I'm not allowed to touch buttons anymore.
Don't touch.
Technology glitches out on me. I guess it's just because I'm so excited tonight. Yeah, no, but the catch-22 with both of them is that it is AI technology. So unless we're like going to the true animal characteristics of those creatures, I think just on terms of the sheer body structure and ability, that like if it was a cougar, like even a bear, they can climb trees shit too, and they're brute strength.
They're stupid.
So like if they're actually going to go to the time and effort to go to a place that is like a barren wasteland, and I'm not saying there's trees on Mars, but definitely some agility might be needed.
Mountain lion would fucking rule shit there for sure.
Hell yeah, man.
But then that's the other part of the moral question is that we're sending all this like hella like brute shit out to other planets. Like, really? Unless it's like, you know, for peaceful means, and the brute strength is just for survival and to be able to get around. I mean, that is the whole point, to explore. You don't want it to just get stuck in the mud.
Right. Yeah. I mean, honestly, I feel like the only need for brute strength is realistically just to prepare it against, the forces of nature, just especially for nature on other planets, that environment is so extreme and so like hazardous, they gotta have a certain resilience to them. And honestly, like, I feel like the main intent behind it is just for like research purposes, to assist with potential colonization. I guess not even potential at this point, when it's realistically like kind of set in stone. Like, we kind of know what we're doing now. Like, everyone's just pitching like actual like commune layouts and like different concepts as far as like actual like creating human synergy upon a new planet.
Yeah, like Elon's trying to say we'll be there in 2026 or some shit. It's just like, cool. If you want to go.
Honestly, I think it's super interesting. I only think that not because I'm like, oh, I think it's cool that we can, colonize a new planet. I just think that we're going to utilize like Mars as like
because it's a one-way
first base to like actual like
Tony's going
travel. Oh, bye, Tony.
Okay, what do you guys think, Tony, Glenn? You got to Tony?
Tony's gone again. You have to
So,
bring
yeah,
him
Tony
back.
dipped.
Yeah.
Oh no. Glenn, what do you
Hey
think?
man, I'm here, and I'm not gonna, I'm listening about the whole planet and all these, different types of landscapes and all these things, and I'm not even like I'm listening, but I can't give any comment on it. I'll be
Right.
honest with you.
We don't know shit. Yeah.
Same. Yeah.
I mean,
It's all just speculative.
We're just dreamers, right? And like that's
Right.
the
Yeah,
type
man.
of stuff I think about, like, and you made me think about when listening to your podcast. I actually really enjoy that about you guys. It's like you're actually going and talking about like wormholes and
Very
and,
deep, boys, man. See, I didn't listen to any podcast. I don't listen to anybody's podcast. I'm going to be completely honest with you and forthcoming. I don't even listen to my own podcast. I spit out 30 minutes. I don't even fucking like edit it or nothing. Just fucking throw it out there,
Right.
So, but I love hearing this. This is making me want to listen to them now. So
Yeah, I mean,
bravo, man. Like,
yeah, you can check us out. It's at Canna Brilliant. That's our podcast.
yeah, I followed you on Instagram already. Like, I'm like, who are these guys?
Oh, word. So it's crazy because before the podcast, Canna Brilliant actually was my Instagram page that I was just doing for cannabis photography. Because like I work in a dispensary and I come across a lot of strains. So I'm like, oh, I'm going to photograph them and post them because in Pennsylvania, you can't see the flower before you buy it. You just get a package and then you go home and you get to see it. So like, people that want to see a variety of strains could refer to my page, and that was the intent. And then like, I kind of got stagnant with it and like realized that instead of taking pictures of weed, I'd rather just smoke it and talk about it and educate people about it. So I kind of started doing that on like podcast and kind of just like doing what I kind of do at work.
Right on, man. Right on, man. That's fucking brilliant.
Thank you.
Sorry, your names again. I'm sorry. Like I'm looking at you and I'm like, the guy on the left has got the blonde hair and the guy on the right has got, from my point of view, the hat and the longer hair. Names again. I'm sorry. One more time.
So my name is Robbie. And
Robbie.
Kyle. That's Kyle.
Kyle. Robbie and Kyle. That's right. And in the chat, somebody said that Kyle wasn't going to be there. I guess Robbie said that Kyle wasn't going to be there. Yeah. So okay, right now that puts more context. Very good. This is awesome. I love it. Very good.
Thank you.
Welcome back, Tony.
Yeah, welcome back, Tony.
It might have been me that time.
Oh, sure.
So we were talking about robot dogs. Where did we leave off? With you, Tony? Because I think it's your turn.
Oh, I'm not really sure. I think they were on Mars.
Yeah,
we're on Mars.
Yeah.
I think we're back on planet Earth now.
Okay.
For now.
What do you think about that subject then about sending cats or dogs to Mars to rove the planet?
Well, if there's no trees on Mars, the dogs are going to have a big problem. What are they going to piss on? That'd be the first problem with sending a dog there.
I mean,
so awesome.
if Mars is like mainly like rocky surface, then like cats would probably be more ideal because it's a giant litter box to them, right?
Right. It's all sand and rock. Yeah.
So you know what? I think we need to collab with SpaceX and be like, look, this is what you need to do. I feel like it was more Boston Dynamics or something that was working with the AI dogs, but there's so many AI companies now out there, and Elon Musk, the owner of SpaceX, is endorsing NVIDIA, which is working on some AI stuff, and they're just like absolutely insane. They used to build like processors for like games and stuff, and like now they're doing like Neuralink, which is absolutely mind blowing to me.
You got Starlink.
So I got a question for you, Robbie, real quick. You're talking a lot about AI, and like obviously it's like something that's like in your aura, whatever, right now for a couple of years. Have you ever thought about like organic intelligence? Something like beyond like plants actually, having some type of intelligence.
Constantly.
Yeah, that'd be
I
wild.
was thinking that stuff too. Actually, listening to your podcast made me think about that sort of how you can transfer your DNA almost through to the plant along those lines of what you're saying. Sorry to interrupt.
Super plants absorb carbon.
So yeah, I mean, plants communicate, and that's just science. We've already, documented this and established that certain plant species will, say, be prey for an animal, and a mile away they'll send signals to the same plant species that these animals are eating them. And then these plants will literally start producing like certain pheromones or like defense mechanisms to prevent them from being preyed on. Which, I mean, if that doesn't literally define some sentient awareness, then I don't know what does.
And that's what the really neat thing about Glenn's vibration product there, right? When you're talking about music, and I don't know, you can broadcast that across the air, any other kind of noise, but when you start talking about your heartbeat, and when Glenn was sick, and bringing that feeling from your heart right into that plant every moment, every heartbeat, and that's the plant that's going to heal you. I mean, there's something there to that, Glenn, that is just, it just blows my mind, and I don't know what it is, and I don't know how it all works, but I'm with you on that one, man. I'm with you.
Yeah,
100%.
It's a hell of a concept, man.
Well, no, forget about concepts. There's science out there. It's like I said, it's thigmomorphogenesis. There's many white papers out on it. It means to touch, to change, to create, and you are causing cell structure changes and potential different yields in all different types of things. And what about pest management? Here's another one real quick. What about if you had a vibration that's mechanical, not acoustic, because acoustic doesn't work really. Mechanical vibration travels a lot further. And what if you caused aphids not to mate from a certain hertz? You could pull it from an app, and you could say, well, oh Jesus, I got fucking aphids in my greenhouse. Where's my app? Oh, I'm gonna put the right hertz and get rid of them, or make them not mate anymore, or the possibilities are fucking endless, man.
So honestly, in order to do that, so as far as pest management, what you would want to do is look at terpene manipulation, because like terpenes, which are like these organic compounds coming from like conifers. Yeah, of course. I don't mean to like talk down by any means. I hope I don't ever come across like that. Basically, like if we find certain ways to manipulate and produce higher percentages of these terpenes, that's kind of the end game anyway, because we're looking to emulate perfection as like nature has done, because that's what we do when we're working with plants like cannabis. We're trying to produce like purity and like just optimal quality, and in order to do that we need kind of perfect conditions. But what you're saying as far as manipulation for that is like such next level like science, and it's just, like, I'm so excited to see that come to fruition and like actually be applied to the way we do things and the way we interact with these things.
Yeah, you got to get that shit going up in Pennsylvania.
Yeah, seriously.
So do you guys got any medical stuff you're gonna blaze with us tonight? I've blazed a little bit.
A little bit.
You're fried. Who are you talking to me? Because I definitely have some medical stuff I can go through.
Yeah, man. I actually enjoy that part when you're of the podcast where you're talking about the different stuff. I unfortunately have never tried Pineapple Express, and you were like on the podcast, like, I don't know who hasn't tried, and I was like, me, motherfucker.
I'm so glad you said that, because guess what, DJ? Last night I picked up, I don't know if you can see that, a new eighth of flour. And that is the classic Pineapple Express.
Are you kidding me?
Swear to God, this is from Cresco. This is one of our cultivators down here.
I will send him money to mail some.
I can't, unfortunately. So I work for a medical facility, so anything I do that would cannabis outside of who I sell it for legally would bar me from the industry and probably give me a felony. So sorry, but maybe one day with change in legislation I would absolutely, but for now I cannot. but I can show
Okay.
you pictures and videos of it. So that's almost
That
as
is
good.
fair. That is fair. I totally understand. And I was like, I haven't had the time to properly research it because it's like so many. I don't even know with all the different states and regulations. And I appreciate your honesty, and but like I do enjoy the stuff that you talk about, and like being a bud tender, that must be pretty interesting in itself. Like, what actually started you down that path of like deciding like, okay, I want to be a bud tender?
So this is a funny thing, actually. So currently, like I'm no longer like a bud tender. I definitely started as a bud tender. It was actually known as like a patient consultant, since it's medical facilities here. So basically, what started it was I just go absolutely stir crazy in any 9 to 5 I've ever been in. Honestly, I'm 26. I've worked probably 8 jobs at least before I got into the cannabis industry. And that was just the over the table jobs. And I just like cannot last more than 2 years without going absolute bonkers. I love cannabis. I've been using cannabis since I was 13 years old. I use it every day. It helps me with my anxiety and PTSD, and that's why I have a medical certification to use it. And I saw that it helped me a lot, so I figured why not get into the industry. So I just started learning as much as I can, and I study almost every single day and just
overstudied.
Yeah.
Man knows everything about cannabis.
I made it to a point where I'm no longer like a bud tender, but I educate people so they can be better bud tenders and help the patients better. And I help with like inventory control, and I just kind of help a medical facility run and just pick up the slack where it needs picked up. That is kind of just for now. Eventually I do want to have like my own stuff. I want to be like the Anthony Bourdain of weed, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I'm trying
that's awesome.
But like I have a lot of like ideas for like inventions as far as cannabis to like kind of help people medicate with ease and just kind of get a better experience. I just want to be a part of culture. I want to influence things, and I'm trying to be on like the level of like High Times and shit. So like I just got to know everything I can about weed to effectively
There it
do
is,
that,
man.
man.
This is gonna get my ass on there, man. I'm telling you right now. So
Yep.
Yeah, no,
it really should, 'cause that's something that's really interesting.
Seriously.
check out what's his Grant down there, man. Tony is flicking. He's hitting it up too. That's nice, man. See, I can't smoke anymore, man. I got a scar. They took some of my lung out. I don't smoke anymore. So
do you,
Good deal.
Yeah, you gotta get the edible again.
So do you use ingestibles or topicals like transdermals at all?
So Robbie, I grew my own pot with my own heartbeat. I made edibles out of it, and every weekend I partake in my own weed that I grew with my heartbeat beating into it.
Love that. That's really dope.
That's
Fantastic.
awesome.
Yeah, I wish Pennsylvania get on the edible train here, because right now we don't really have the best edible situation.
So, well, we don't have the ideal edible situation here. You're not allowed to have like candy, brownies, or cookies, or
Appeals to children and
anything
shit like
that can appeal to children. But we have distillates, capsules, and RSOs.
So yeah, you can cook your own food for sure. It's just more of a effort.
But honestly, distillates are one of the best things to happen to cannabis in its entirety, not even just as far as edibles go. Because they're so overlooked. They're the most overlooked form, honestly, because a distillate syringe can be added to a cartridge and vaped. It can be ingested because it's activated. It can be mixed in with a batter and cooked in any recipe. It can be just added to a cracker and ingested directly. And aside from that, it can be put with a transdermal, like a lotion, to increase potency, and you can absorb it topically. And if that isn't the most well-rounded cannabis product there is, like, please find another. I have not seen one.
God damn, I'm sorry, I'm not trying to bind you guys.
You're good.
But you're trying to drop them.
Hold on, drop call.
You're so cheesy.
You guys are awesome.
Tony, what are you hitting?
Yeah.
Some finger hash from my pipe. Actually, is still going there. I didn't get it. Didn't get it all.
That's a sick pipe.
Nice. So what, do you use your key for like your dry sift to make your finger hash?
Well, this was actually stuff off of I bought a rotary cleaner this year, and worked really nice. But about every pound and a half, maybe 2 pounds that you put through it, you would have to clean the machine. It would gum up pretty quick. And so that stuff that I cleaned off it, I saved, and that's finger hash. I'm still smoking it. Like, I don't know. I bet you I still get about probably 15 grams left of it before I even start hitting my bubble hash.
Did you grow that, Tony? Or
Oh yeah.
Nice.
so you grew that yourself?
Hell yeah.
Yep. I've been growing my own for quite a few years. My younger brother had a heart attack, and the doctor started asking him questions about who was growing his weed, and started talking about people that were putting crystal meth, actually spraying it on the weed somehow to get people to buy it more. And anyway, through that whole process, I just said, you know what? Why am I buying weed? Why am I trusting somebody else to grow my medicine? And who knows what they're spraying on it? You know, if they get bugs and they spray a pesticide or anyway, eventually I just said, Tony, grow your own friggin' weed, and you know what you're smoking. And that was about 20 years ago.
Right on.
Yeah,
So
I've never.
I felt stupid buying it when
you're
I could grow it.
you're allowed to grow legally up there, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Now you couldn't 20 years ago, but
Exactly.
you
That's
are
what
now.
So
what's your plants for recreational?
Is it 4 per person or per household?
Per household.
Okay.
But with my medical permit, I can grow enough that I don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, that's the future I want right there down here.
Yeah.
I just want to cultivate a shit ton of weed.
Yeah, I mean, long term, I just want to have a couple acres in the mountains or something with my own cannabis farm and self-sustain.
That's my dream right there.
Nice. That's what I'm living.
That's beautiful. You're living the dream, man. I couldn't be more jealous, but in a not a more positive way.
Sorry to jump in here, guys. Let's talk about where we're at in our little bit of our worlds. Tony, what's it like over there on the other side of the Canada?
Well,
how's the
right
weather
now?
out there? Snow on the ground.
About 1.5 feet of snow. This just yesterday we had a nice storm. Cold. I think it's like -17, -18 out there tonight. I'm sitting in my basement in front of my wood furnace now. I got to keep that baby stoked up because that's the main source of heat here is firewood.
Not much different than here. We're about to get a flood dropped on us.
Mm-hmm.
I'd love to do a cross country trip one time and go and see the other side. Are you close to the water? What's the landscape like where you living?
Where I am, no, we're not close to the water. It's kind of mountainous here. We're at the other end of the I can't even think what the mountain chain's called now. I'm at the other end of the mountain chain from Glen.
Appalachian?
Yeah, the Appalachian.
Yeah, the Appalachian. Yes. So it's kind of hilly here where I am. Lots of forest, river valleys. If you want to go to the coast, though, the coast is only about a 2.5-hour drive away. It's not far.
Okay.
It's like the same.
When you're talking about distance out west, you guys, a 10-hour drive is nothing for you guys. Back east to drive an hour away, that's a long drive, like an hour away.
Yeah.
People just won't do it.
I'm from the East Coast in the U.S. and it is exactly that. So I feel
we're on the very eastern edge of the Appalachians here in PA.
Yep.
So I grew up in New Jersey. So I grew up in New Jersey. I don't know where you are in PA exactly.
Lancaster.
Yep.
Amish country.
Okay. Right on.
So what do you guys do for fun? And it sounds like we're all kind of forest people, so we like to go hunting and all that sort of stuff. Or?
We tip cows. Just kidding. Totally kidding.
I thought he was dead serious. I miss cow
My wife's
never once. We love animals here, actually. We hike a lot. We talk about traveling the world, and we podcast, and we smoke cannabis, and sometimes hunting and fishing. I grew up in a family where it's all hunting, all fishing all the time. So yeah, that is definitely no stranger to me.
Yep.
I love actually the part with the animals. I got to throw it out publicly too. Is why I reached out to you guys, is because you did the thing about the animal rescue, rehoming the dogs.
Zoe's Happy Tales. Yeah, that's a really good organization. They're doing Zoe's House is doing really, really good things for like rehoming rescue animals. So really good cause.
Yeah, man, that's awesome. Like to have that in your heart to reach out and help animals and spend that little bit of time to do that. It was like, yeah, man, I like these guys. Like I know we did help some friends out with the reptile rescue, and my wife is actually part of the local paws thing.
Oh, nice.
Which yeah, she volunteers with them, and it's actually pretty amazing. Like the community just chipped in a ridiculous amount of money to help a cat out that needed a ridiculous surgery. So
one of the ladies who works with CR Paws with us, her cat and her were out for a walk, and I hate using the terminology like this, but a crackhead took off in their car and actually swerved to hit her and her cat. She got out of the way, her cat didn't, and
damn.
Luckily they were able to get the cat to the vet in time, and they were looking at a $38,000 bill, and she didn't know what she was going to do, and she went the next day to go work out a payment arrangement, and everybody in Campbell River that knows her and she's helped all pitched in within 24 hours and raised $3,800 to pay for the cat surgery.
That's insane. That is even that much, though.
Holy hell!
They had like the whole back end of the cat was completely crushed. They weren't even going to try with the surgery, but she begged and pleaded for them to try. She didn't care if it put her in debt. And I mean, I don't blame her. I'm a mom to currently at the moment 10 dogs, 3 cats, 2 guinea pigs. And I'd do it. If it came down to $100,000, I would attempt to save my babies for sure.
Yeah. Fur babies. We all love them.
Hey, sorry, DJ, but I got to sign off, but I really appreciate you having me on. Tony, it was nice to meet you. Robbie, Kyle, I hope that we have the opportunity in the near future to converse again, and I really appreciate you having me on, DJ, but I'm going to sign off, okay?
Yeah, no worries. Actually, I was going to actually say let's call it a night and do one little roundabout, like the firefighter thing, go around the circle and have our little say. So do you want to do that little say, and then I'll pass you on to the other guys, and we'll have a little good night? Or are you done?
No, I'm good. I'm good. Thanks for having me on, and I really appreciated meeting all of you, and thanks for having me on. Appreciate that.
Yeah, it was good meeting you, man, for sure. Yeah, we'll definitely do it again.
No worries. Thank you so much.
Good, me too.
I totally appreciate it, man. Like 100%. It's awesome. Okay.
Sounds good. Nice to meet you all, guys.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
We'll catch you again on another DuBe Time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sounds good.
Right on. Later, guys.
All right, guys.
Yep.
Yeah. Well,
so awkward with goodbye.
Yeah, I don't like saying goodbye at all. Thank you, Tony. I appreciate it. It was awesome. Definitely keep in touch on LinkedIn for sure. That was awesome. Thank you so much. Robbie,
you know what's awesome right now? You can see me in my glass. You can see you in my glasses.
We're in the Ultraverse.
Just a stoner.
That's awesome.
Word,
no, seriously, now that Glenn's gone. Now that Glenn's gone, we can talk about stony stuff, right?
For sure.
Can I do
we
my
can talk
bubbles and
about
see if I
whatever
can
if
figure
you
out what
still
I'm
want to
doing?
go. I'm into another 15 minutes or 20 or whatever.
Can I?
No, I better go too. But I just thought that it was kind of cool that you can see yourself in my glasses.
Yeah, that's trippy, right?
Yeah, it's almost midnight here on the east.
Yeah, oh shit.
Yeah, you're
Word,
like
well,
4
yeah,
hours ahead.
yeah.
Yeah, it's 12:40 here. Yeah.
Oh wow, you're a trooper.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh yeah. I gotta feed the furnace anyway.
All right, man.
Word.
Well, thanks for joining in. Cheers.
Later
See
on,
you guys.
man.
See it.
Okay, can you switch the thing to
what?
the top? It should have.
It's not.
I'm still on there though. Is it just me?
Oh, there we go. Take me off.